Kirby, you've poured time on your remarkable career. How does it feel to be hanging up the boots?
It's really nice actually to finish on a high with everything that's been going on this last year. It's obviously been a really great time that I've had at Richmond, and feel like it's just time to call it a day on a positive, finishing fit and healthy.
Why did you feel now was the right time for you and your young family?
Obviously, having little Indy come along took obviously a lot of time and love and everything with work with that happening in the background. I felt like I did want to be there for everything, and a few injuries creeping in here and there meant I was kind of sacrificing a lot of time and well-being over family, which obviously is always going to come first. But yeah, it was just nice the way that we got to play it out as well, with fans coming in for the Cov game, and it just felt like a really nice kind of end to what's been an awesome kind of 8 years or so at Richmond.
You mentioned those 8 years. So you joined the club back in 2012-13 from Isha. You went on to make 164 caps for the first team. Can you just touch on how proud you are of what you have achieved at the club?
Massively proud. It's one of those things that 164 caps seems like a lot of rugby. It's not something you think of every week when you're not counting all the games, but it's just been a hell of a lot of fun. We've had some really big ups with the kind of couple of promotions to the championship, but even the games up to kind of Bladen up in National One were great fun, and we had fun playing rugby every week. So no, it's been awesome, and just really enjoyed playing with so many different massively talented rugby players, and the social afterwards as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll touch on the social in a bit, but you retire as Richmond's all-time leading point scorer in the modern era with 1,293 points. Again, how does that feel to you?
Yes, it's awesome. It's a lovely stat to have. It's one of those things, as you mentioned, with the get leading point scorer a few times has been great. It is kind of the perks that come with the job of kicking, obviously. But no, it's definitely something I'll look back on and be proud of. Yeah, luckily enough to have that stat to my name.
Yeah, and you every season, apart from 2019-20, so the last season in that one, you finished as the top point scorer, including this season. Is that something again that you'll reflect on with pride?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's funny. It's one that, as I said, it's one of those things that being a kicker that you do get the pleasure of having, and being able to score a few points. I mean, I always have a bit of banter with Four-Pint with the awards that you get at the end of every year. You should probably, he says that that hookers should probably get the award for the most throw-ins as well. So it's a lovely thing, and yeah, I'm just glad that I managed to kick a few goals along the way.
Absolutely. You mentioned Four-Pint, and obviously there's so many other great Richmond players that you've had the pleasure of taking the pitch with. Can you touch on some of those guys that you've absolutely loved playing with?
Do you know what? It's all of them. I think to name a few. As I joined Richmond my first year, I remember I probably wasn't the most liked, just being a cocky little 21-year-old fly half. Getting put in my place a few times by the likes of Will Warden. And then kind of Tom Platt taking me under his wing early doors and kind of teaching me a lot about my kicking and whatnot, which was really nice of him. Timmy obviously has created an atmosphere over this kind of 8 years that has just been so much fun with the social. Obviously, I mean, there's so many boys along the road that have just been an absolute pleasure to play with. It's all of them really. I think there's some really talented guys as well. Louis Liner, obviously one that's kind of going on to play in the Premiership final. Craig Trenio, Will Goodrick-Clark, who've gone on to do big things and playing for some pretty big clubs, which is awesome.
Your gratitude to the coaches as well, obviously Steve Hill and Matsy, Powley, Kenshi, these guys. How influential have they been to your career at Richmond?
I think the way they just let you really get on with it. They bring the best out of you. They know that there's a lot of guys who are working really hard during the week, and then playing rugby really for the love of rugby, and then coming down and they're trying to get the best out of your particular skill set rather than trying to push square pegs around holes. They're just saying, look, we all want to enjoy our time here, and they've let everyone do that, and that's when they get the best out of the players. So that's why it's been really enjoyable going down on a Tuesday, Thursday, having a run round, whether it be a Friday night lights or Saturday, or even a long trip to Cornwall on a Sunday. They really encourage you to go out and express yourself, but also enjoying the stuff afterwards, which is just as important for a team like ours, as we all know.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, the social side of things. You must have some pretty special memories, many of which you probably can't share on a public forum, but stuff like touring and the big away trips, they must hold a pretty special place in your heart.
Yeah, I mean, after speaking to a few of the guys who had retired, I think that's the stuff that really stood out for them, how easy your social life is. When you see all your mates on a Tuesday, you see your mates on a Thursday, and then you've kind of got a pre-arranged social on a Saturday every weekend. It's so easy. And speaking to likes of Gibbo and those guys saying, they're just like, look, it's actually a challenge. And you've kind of got to stay in touch with everyone all over again. You actually got to get your phone out and start making some calls to organise some plans, where it's actually just been pre-planned for you the whole time. So yeah, it's been fantastic, and those memories will kind of stay long in the mind. And the tours that we went on were just amazing, and hopefully the club can keep on touring.
You've always had a pretty special, close connection to all sections of our club, and the supporters and the members, obviously. What is your message to them, and how appreciated have you felt by their support?
Look, obviously, as Richmond, with the one club ethos, it's been amazing, and the support has always been amazing. No matter where we go, it always feels like we've got a travelling fan base that have always just been absolutely fantastic. The nature of the club walking back in and having everyone there, whether it be, as we always say, whether from first, fifth to the women's rugby team as well, that come in, and it's absolutely great. And then sometimes you're lucky enough to go in and get asked to coach some of the minis on a Sunday, and you see how much they love running around and being part of the club as well. So it's just been fantastic, and I can't thank everyone enough for making this time just as enjoyable as it's been over this last 8 years. And sometimes walking into the bar after a tough fixture, you still get bought a pint and everyone's still smiling. So it makes those hard games just as easy as winning as well.
Yeah, and before we let you sort of say your big thank you, obviously you touched on hard games. This season in the championship was a big challenge. You came back to play the second half of the season, but looking forward, how excited are you to see how sort of the young squad develops and continues to build confidence going into next season?
It'd be massively exciting to watch on the other side of the barriers. It's always a challenge playing the championship, being kind of at our level. Well, it's not really our level, but who we are and what we do during the week. The limited time that the guys get every single week is a cup final for the guys to see what kind of performances they can put out there, and hopefully we get a few results next year. It was obviously tough with a few kind of bits of rotation that were implemented this year, but next year hopefully we get a good strong base and can really kick on from day one.
And yeah, you've obviously touched on a bit throughout the interview, but I'm sure there's plenty of people that you would like to thank.
Yeah, there's loads. I think all the players kind of thanks for putting up with me is the main message, and all the coaches for, as you said, just making rugby just as enjoyable as it is. The fans, look, you guys are incredible. I look forward to sharing some beers with you over the next few years. I look forward to seeing everyone down the club, hopefully in a successful next campaign for Richmond.
And just finally, will we see you in a heavy shirt at some point down the track?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm really excited to do that. I hope I get a call if I actually graduate there. I'm sure it's a pretty strict process to be allowed to play for the heavies. But no, it'd be when I'm lucky enough to do so, I'll definitely be running around.
Great stuff, mate. Well, Kirby, it's been an absolute pleasure to interview and to obviously watch you play at Richmond. Thank you for the incredible memories, and we look forward to seeing you back at the Rag and your family enjoying a few drinks on the sidelines.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.